Good morning, class. Today we will be doing a review over whole numbers. I am going to give everyone a worksheet, and I want you to first put your name on the top. After that, I want you to write the date, which is May 11th, 2011. Okay, you all remember that whole numbers can either be odd or even, right? How did we decide if a number was odd or even? That's right. If it is an even number, you can divide that number by 2 with nothing left. An example of that would be the number 8. Okay, so what does it mean for a number to be odd? Right again, if you divide a number by 2 and it has a 1 left, that means that number is odd. We'll do an example with the number 9. Four times 2, 8. See the one that's left? That means the number is odd. Okay. What if you have a long number like 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 4, 4. Suppose you didn't know how to divide this number by 2. How could you figure out if this number is odd or even? We can use the odd or even box method. Let me refresh your memory about the odd and even box method. Okay. What we will do is start with 0. You start and you put 0 in the even box. And you count to 9. So, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, with this method, we can look at the last number on the long number and see which box it is in to find out if the number is odd or even. The last number here is 4. 4 is in the even box. So this number is even. Now, let's go ahead and look at problem number 1. Problem number 1 says, which group has an odd number of toys? So, when we look at the number of toys in each group, the first one has 2. Where is 2 in the even odd box method? Is that number odd? No, it's not. The next group of toys has 4. Where is 4? 4 is in the even box also. The last group has 3 toys. 3 is in the odd box. So what is our answer? C, correct. Now, number 2. Now on number 2, we will be talking about halves. So, how do we get half of something? If it is a number, we do what? Divide by 2. Like when we were finding out if a number is even or odd. If it is something like a pie, what do we do? Right, just make a line in the middle. An example, that's one way, or like this. That line makes 2 equal halves. So now, let's look at number 2. Number 2 says, there are 8 bicycles. Half of them need to be fixed. How many need to be fixed? So, with this, we can again divide 8 by 2. So, half of 8 is what? 4. So the answer for number 2 is 4. Now, problem number 3. This problem is tricky because it talks about pairs. Pairs. This problem says there are 4 pairs of children. Half the children are going on a field trip. How many children are going on a field trip? With this problem, you have to know that pairs mean 2 of something together. So, when we think of pairs, what can you think of on your body that you have 2 of? Hands, eyes. So, pairs are 2 of something. So, when we look at this problem, the easiest way to solve it would be to count all the children's heads and then divide that number by 2. So, please count all the children's heads. I'm going to count with you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 children. If half are going on a field trip, how many are going? Do you remember the last example? To get half of something, we divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So your answer is what? 4. Good job. Alright, let's look at number 4. The problem says there are 4 sandwiches and 6 plates. If the sandwiches are cut in half and each half is put on a plate, how many sandwich halves will be left over? So, we'll use the board for this problem. Okay, for this problem, we have 2 different things we need to do before we can solve the problem. What is the first thing that the problem wants us to do? Right. Cut each sandwich in half. So, with the red marker, these are my sandwiches. These are my plates. Let's count how many halves we have now. And I will put a number on each one so you can see the halves and see how many we have now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 halves of sandwiches. Now we have 6 plates. What is the second thing we must do to solve this problem? We need to put each half on a plate. So what we'll do is we'll put a number on each plate to match the half that will go on that plate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, looking at this problem, how many halves are left? 1, 2. So the answer for number 4 is 2. Number 5 says, Carson helped make an apple pie. She took 3/4 of it to her grandmother. Which picture shows what is left? For this problem, the easiest thing to do is draw a picture of a pie. Now, for this problem, we will be working with parts of a whole. Remember 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and 1? Okay. What is another name for 1/4? A quarter. Right. 1/2, simply half. And another name for 3/4, 3 out of 4. Okay, so this problem says she took 3/4 of the pie to her grandmother. How much is left? So how are we going to solve this problem? We start with the pie. Now this says quarters, so that lets us know that this pie will be divided into 4 parts. The problem says she brought 3/4 to her grandmother. So we just need to erase 3 of the quarters. One, 2, 3. Now, the problem wants to know which picture shows what is left. So since we've already drawn the picture, the only thing you need to do is match this picture to the one on your worksheet. So looking at the worksheet, which one matches your picture? B, correct. Alright, number 6 says the candy bar is 3 inches long. Luke cut off 1/3 of it. How much is left? The easiest way to solve this problem will be again to draw our own picture of the candy bar. So the first question we need to ask ourselves is how many pieces are we cutting the candy bar into? 3? How do you know that? Right, because the bottom number 1/3 tells you how many parts you will have of the whole. So the 3 in 1/3 is how many parts to cut the candy bar into. We erased 1 inch off the candy bar. How many inches are left? 1, 2. 2 inches are left on the candy bar. So what is your answer? 2 inches. Now I want you to review this again by yourself and fill in the answer. If you have any questions, please let me know.